Hello, Simmers! So what does fire look like in each of the 4 Sims games compared to each other? The differences will shock you, the similarities will amaze you, and the heat will burn you. I want to throw back to the year 2000. You just got out of school, you got home, hopped on your computer with the dial-up internet. It's been a tough day at school. Math homework, so much math homework, oh my gosh. All you want to do is just sit down and play your family. You just put in a pool, you could finally afford it, and your sim wants to cook dinner for everyone. But alas, you forgot to buy a bookshelf. And your sim cannot get cooking skills because he can't read any books. And before you know it, a fire starts. I can guarantee you, this was you when you were a kid. And it was me when I was a kid. The fires in this game were so spooky, like it was scary, you know? And I thought it would be fun to just analyze all 4 Sims games, even the crappy one, and talk about the fire. We're going to compare them, contrast them. It's going to be a lot of fun. And let's start with the original Sims 1. Here you're going to see a sim with 0 cooking skills, of course. Right off the bat, you know it's not going to go well, because you need to have at least 1 cooking skill point in order to guarantee that a fire will not start. But my Sims can't read, so what am I supposed to do? Alright, first my Sim is standing way too close to the fire. Like, if you don't have a smoke alarm, you are in big doo-doo. You will need to distract your Sim long enough to call the fire department, because if you don't, well, golly, the screams are so horrifying. Just listen to this. Well, the parent passed away. Oh no, the kid. No, back up, back up! Get out of the way! Thankfully though, if you do have a smoke alarm, it will begin beeping within seconds of the fire starting. And Firefighter Freddy comes to the rescue. He can be seen sprinting to the scene, and he will grab his fire extinguisher and put that fire out. Then once it's done, he'll just walk away, and your house is fine again. Alright, next is The Sims 2. Now, this one's a little bit more realistic because the fire doesn't magically just erupt out of nowhere. It starts slowly with some smoke, and then it kind of builds up. You can see here the oven's smoking. It's not that noticeable, but don't worry, it gets much worse. And now it's gotten the attention of everyone. There is one major similarity to all 4 games that I've noticed, and that's just the way that everyone stands and jumps up and down and screams at the fire without doing anything at all. And here's what death looks like in The Sims 2. They essentially just disappear, so not too bad. And then they become a pile of ash, which is very dark. Then the Grim Reaper comes and pronounces death upon them, and they get the classic urn, and they're officially gone. Now, I do like how the Grim Reaper has a little book where he writes down the names and checks whatever he's doing. It's a kind of funny quirk to The Sims 2. I like that a lot. Alright, that was the bad ending, and now let's watch the good ending. So, same house, the same fire, only now, gasp, a smoke alarm. Yay! The alarm starts blaring, and then of course, here comes Firefighter Freddy in a flash, like always. And boom, he puts out the fire, and look, nobody perished. Yay! Good job, Firefighter Freddy. Oh, I think that's a woman. Excuse me, ma'am, my apologies. Next is The Sims 3. Now, this one's pretty similar to The Sims 2 because you'll see here the oven starts to smoke at the beginning, but here's the main difference, which I actually really like. The fire starts inside the oven, and you can see people starting to panic, which kind of makes sense. You know, you wouldn't want a fire in your oven. It's very realistic. And here's one of my Sims now trying to use the fire extinguisher, but he's spraying the person instead of the fire. Well, she's on fire. I guess that kind of makes sense. Alright, and here's the good version of the fire in The Sims 3. This one, the smoke alarm, saves the day once again. And I gotta say, I really feel like The Sims 3 is the most realistic version of a fire in real life. It's got all the elements of what I think would actually happen if your stove bursts into flames. Here comes the fireman, walks directly through the flames at first, takes the long way, and then he finally turns around and fights the fire like a good firefighter should. And that's The Sims 3. Okay, now here's the best game of the Sims franchise, the number 1. No, I'm just kidding. It's the worst. And it's The Sims 4. Now, this version of the fire kind of annoys me because there's no real indication that a fire's about to start. He's just cooking his square or whatever's in there. Then all of a sudden, a fire just happens. And here's the weirdest part. This is so odd. Watch this. He doesn't move out of the way. He just stands there and accepts the fate, I guess, that he's going to die. The charade lasts for quite a long time, and then he finally collapses. And here's the good version of the Sims 4 fire. So, fire starts. Once again, the guy doesn't get out of the way. I don't understand this, but thankfully, the firefighter shows up really quickly, puts that fire out, and this part cracks me up right here because she just sprays the sim directly, which is also putting out the fire. I get that. Oh, and there's 2 firefighters. Wow, that's cool. Double duty. All right, really quickly, to go back to the firefighters, let's go. Sims 1, we got Firefighter Freddy. Sims 2, we got Female Firefighter. Sims 3, we have, not sure what his name is, I'm assuming it's Freddy. And then in the Sims 4, we have Firefighter Duo. I'm not sure if that's normal. I don't play the Sims 4 because the game stinks. All right, and now let's compare the 4 smoke alarms. Here's the smoke alarm in the Sims 1. And here's the one in the Sims 2. Okay, and here's the Sims 3. You know what? I'm pretty sure it's the exact same one as the Sims 2. That's really funny. All right, now for the Sims 4, I think there's 2 different alarms on top of each other. I may need somebody to explain down in the comments what that is, but I'm hearing 2 alarms. All right, now we're going to showcase each of the Grim Reapers. So here's the Grim Reaper in the Sims 1. Here's the Grim Reaper in the Sims 2. Very similar looking. Oh, and his voice is really funny sounding. All right, here's the Sims 3. There's a very interesting interaction going on here. Not sure what that is. And before I show you the Grim Reaper in the Sims 4, I'd like for you to click over and watch this video next. This is a video I made about the 5 scariest things in the Sims 1. You got the burglar, the fire, of course, getting electrocuted. It's crazy scary. So please click over and watch that video right now. This video might be a little bit triggering for all of us, so just a warning. As I've gotten older, I've been working through some of the childhood trauma and the junk that I've gone through, like all of us do as adults. And I found that some of the fears and anxieties I have today are directly tied to this game, The Sims 1. I played this game as a 10-year-old every day for like several years, and I was exposed to some really dark and terrifying things in this game. So, in this video, we're going to talk about that. 5 of the scariest things from The Sims 1. First, we're going to talk about the prank phone calls. Now, we all got tons of these calls while playing the game. They were always a little odd, but sometimes you got one like in the middle of the night,